Ribhush. Yeah, let us start with mantra. Om Vang me manasi pratishthitam mano me vachi pratishthitam aviravirmohedhi vedasyama anistha shrutam me ma prahasi anenadhi tena horatran Samdadhami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Ribhush Chakra Idiyam Charunama Vishwani Devo Vayunani Vidvan Sasasya Charma Ghritavat Padam Veh Tad It Agni Rakshati Aprayuchan. A skillful craftsman, a god knowing all the manifestations of knowledge, he forms the beautiful and desirable name. The luminous seat of the being in the movement of the peace that the fire guards, not deviating from his work. As Ribhu, he created this beautiful name worthy of adoration, the God knowing all the manifestations of knowledge, the luminous cover made of the mental clarity of the one to be praised, the seat of the soul that Agni constantly protects. Yes, let us go word by word. Ribhu. Ribhu, we spoke about Ribhus and we looked into several hymns, especially in relation to Tvashtri, to Tvashtar, the god who created the ladle, the physical holder of Soma. And the Ribhus are the powers which created other ladles of Soma on the vital, mental, and supramental levels. They are evolutionary, so to say, forces which generated possibilities of holding the delight of the spirit within manifestation, within these bodies. So Ribhu Chakra, Chakre actually, Ribhu created Idiyam Charunama, this sort of, in adoration, beautiful name. And it is interesting because Chakre is Atmanepadam, and it means that it can be also created. Ribhu was created as this desirable or beloved name, beautiful name. Or Ribhu himself created, yes, this name. So it's not very clear who created. It was created and a Ribhu created it as the name. Interestingly, that Ribhu is most probably from Rab, because Ri is a weak form of Rab. Yeah? And Rab, Lab, we have this root. Ribhu is skillful, clever, the one who can get anywhere. And the Rab and Lab is also the meaning of grasping or holding or taking or receiving. Yeah. For our Sanskrit scholars, there are no Sanskrit teachers, the students here today. There was only Kinshuk. So for him, Labhate is the Rabhate, Vedic Rabhate, classical Labhate. Labha, you know the word Labh, yes, as a gaining. This is from here, from Rabh and Ribh. So the one who gains, the one who receives, who grasps, obtains new possibilities. So this Ribhu name was created, worthy of adoration, beautiful name. God, Devach, Vishwani Yuvanani Vidvan, the God created that, yes, who knows all the paths. Sasasya charma gharitavat padam vech, interesting phrase, which is difficult to translate because sasa is not really available for translation proper. Shabindran translates it differently. The luminous seat of the being, Ghritavat Padam Vech, in the movement of peace, Sasasya Charma. Charma, interestingly, he translates from root char, charati, to move, movement, Sasyasya of peace. I translate more literally. The luminous cover, charman is the cover, you know it as the sack or as the skin. Most probably you have it in Hindi or Bengali, charm. Yeah? So the luminous cover made of mental clarity, Gharitavat, and the one to be praised, Sasasya. I translate Sasasya as Shashasya, as Shas, from root Shas, to be praised, to be pointed out, to be, and the seat of the soul, Padam Vech. Interesting word, it's a Vedic word, V. V means the bird. Actually also has something to do with weaving into the tapestry, the movement. And in the Veda, it is always used in the sense of mysterious sense of the bird. And the bird is usually a symbol of the soul. Hansa, also another word, which is the symbol, or the Shiena. Shiena is the eagle. Shiena, Vich, Hansach, all these birds are usually the beings or the souls which are flying high in the sky. If cow is the symbol of the light of knowledge and the horse is the symbol of power, then the bird, you can figure out what it could mean. Yeah. So it must be something which is flying high in the sky. So I translate it as the seat of the soul, Padam Vech. Vech is the genitive case. This word is met only in the Veda, only in the Rig Veda, yes, not afterwards. So the luminous cover made of the mental clarity of the one to be praised, the seat of the soul that Agni constantly protects. That seat of the soul is Agni's place where nobody can enter into, yes, because there is a flame around. You will be burnt if you enter into the inner domains of the soul. So you will have to become yourself a flame, as it were, to be able to enter into the soul. So what is this beautiful name? The name beautiful, I think, which is worthy of adoration or seeking with adoration. It is worthy of seeking with adoration, with love. I think it is this constant growth of consciousness, yes, which is from Ruta Rab, to get, to obtain, to receive, to gain new levels of possibilities, capacities in life. And that is something which Ribhus added to the ladle of physical order of Soma, of delight in the vital, mental, and supramental level. So we have to unfold or to grow into them, into new capacities. In that sense, it is a beautiful name. When we say name, we do not mean just name as we use it in English. Name is more than that. It is something which reveals the meaning of the power or application of the being. Yeah? The name is the secret meaning of the being. Secret meaning means the meaning which is intrinsic for the very existence of this being. Why it is existing, what for, what is its function, what is its aim. Yeah? That is the name. That's why in the ancient tradition it was always important to know the name, and the names were secret, always secret. You remember in the Kena Upanishad when the gods tried to find out what was that spirit, and at the end Indra finds out that it was Brahman. And when they realized that it was Brahman, they were satisfied. They knew the being. So the name gives us a meaning of the being. We do not know meaning of the being without the name. You see something, you see some being, some self, but you don't know what it is and how it is and what for and what it does and where it belongs and nothing. You know nothing. You just see something. It's something like, it's very important for our IPK, for our faculties of consciousness, why the word is so important in hearing. It is something when you come to some museum, for example, and you see some old, furniture and old weaponry on the wall or pictures. What do you know? You just see only that form. You know nothing about it. You have no idea what it is all about. Until somebody comes and tells you, this was the king who lived in 18th century, he used these weapons for that battle, and that painting was painted by some artist in that way and was presented to his daughter, and now it is here. So you know the whole thing around it, and the meanings come back, and these things embody the meanings. Yeah? Otherwise, these things are nothing in themselves. We have no idea what they are there, why they are there for, what they are there for. So the same with the name, yeah. Yeah, Robin, you wanted to say? Yeah, or yours? Yeah. Yes.
Actually, in the West, the name is used only to label. It doesn't go beyond that. But I know that in India, the name has intrinsic meaning. And therefore, when a child is to be named, it is a holy ceremony because, they go into great details before they come up with a name for the child. And that name always has this intrinsic meaning behind it. Most Indian names, unless they are shortened and westernized, most Indian names have a lot of depth in them. And if you go deep, you'll see that, for example, the name Gita, it has so much meaning behind it. It's the song of the divine. And so if you go deeper and deeper, it starts revealing so many things. Whereas if that was shortened to G or something like that, it really doesn't hold much significance.
Right. Actually, in Sanskrit, because of Sanskritized Indian languages, every name can have a depth, yes? And you just take any letter and you will find some deep meaning in every name. Yes, and there are also secret names which are not revealed to the, to the out usage. So you have the official name and you have that hidden name closer to the family, to the intimate usage. This happens always in the uh, Asian countries, and not only in India, also in Far East. You have this. That they have hidden name closer to the usage of the family and the outer name official one. And we have also nicknames, interesting. So to say, altogether something which will hide him in the social usage. Nicknames is also known only to the closest to you. So there are all these gradations of naming being by which you will be kind of functioning, operating. If you take any noun as a name, numen, so to say, something which is, it will tell you immediately its function in Sanskrit, yes? Sanskrit is a unique language because it reveals, name reveals the function. It is not just a nickname. It's not only a token by which we do kind of mark the being. It is more than that. It has a functionality. And that functionality, even Brahman, if you take what we, Brahman is from root brih, to grow. Why Indra didn't ask Uma, who revealed this name of the spirit to him, and so what? Brahman. So what does it mean, Brahman? Yeah? What does it do? He didn't ask. When he heard Brahman, he knew everything about the being. From the name he knew, from root brih, that this is the power which grows, which occupies and pervades all. He immediately knew everything what it does. And so no more questions, only one answer. Give me the name. And it is by the name that we call and invoke the devatas. They hear the name. If you
So
look
the,
at,
so the name is like a identification.
And also triggering the power, triggering the presence.
Right.
It's also the luminous cover, what he's referring here, the luminous cover, the charma, made of mental clarity. It is referring to the name. The name is the luminous cover because it reveals to us that which is hidden within.
Didn't think of it, yes. Maybe this is it, yeah.
And therefore the seat of the soul that the Agni constantly protects.
Right, and the divine name, you remember from Savitri, that divine name is the only protection in the most difficult passage through the darkness. Because that name, that vibration, Sri Aurobindo Sharanam Mama, yes, Sri Aurobindo is my protection. This is the formula which actually gives us protection. How it works, it's a mysterious thing. Yeah? You articulate the name, and with articulation of the name, there is a triggering of the power, which represents that action.
Because Vladimir, doesn't a name also have a vibration?
Of course, it has a vibration. Of course, yes. And not only vibration, there is something else. There is articulation in consciousness, which is cognized by that particular power. So if we go deep into etymology, we will see that the names appeared from some kind of functionality of consciousness. Yes, some particular action of consciousness or vibration or friction or kshobha was cognized in a particular manner, and that manner, that particular energy was the foundation for the name. By the way, every being has many names. It's not like only one name. So you can call the same being by many functionalities. But one of them got stuck to it as a major cognizing kind of entry, something which makes it more accessible to others also. Because one thing that I may think in the mind, and the other when I communicate, that you have to recognize what I'm pointing at, yes? That I mean that, I don't mean something else. But Sri Aurobindo goes deep into it, into his studies of Sanskrit, in the origins of Aryan speech. He says that he can, by the way, to arrive at any meaning of any root. So basically, he can call any object, any being, by any name. Now, I will explain then that depth. Yeah? This is very deep. It's really from the origin. So basically, being has the capacity to be active in many ways, yes? And can be used in many functionalities, yeah? Nearly the whole set of them. Some of them are more obvious, others are less obvious and secondary, and so on and so forth. But you still can have that particular context in which that name will reveal that functionality. But as Yaska says, why we call Ashva Ashva, from root Ashu, to be swift. It's swift, yeah, it's running. So Ashva is running, and that name got stuck with the horse to mean running. But he asks immediately, why don't we ask anyone, why don't we say about anyone who is running, the horse? This is an interesting question, yeah? Because you could, he is the horse. That means he's a dog, a racing dog, or something. And he says, because of this particular feature, that some particular names get stuck to the usage of the being in communication. Communication defines it. But in the depth of language, it is not so. There can be many names. Yeah? The horse can be not only running, it can be jumping, it can be neighing, it can be, you name it. Yeah? A horse can do many things. But one particular feature of running was significantly in front, obvious, and that became the name of the horse as function. I want us to understand that the name is function, nothing else. One of the functions of the being, which is stuck to the being as the token of recognition of that particular being with that particular function. Yeah, it is very logical, truly speaking. Yeah, there is nothing mysterious even about it. Mysterious is only that vibration actually expresses that particular action which exists in the being. This is something very interesting. So it fits. So in Sanskrit, everything has a specific sound, the root behind, which explains us what the thing does. Brahman is a growing power. Asanam is the sitting place or sitting modality, asanam. Yeah? From root as, to sit, to be settled. So when we say asanam, we mean the stool or the chair. When we say chair, we don't understand why chair is chair, to sit. Yeah? But when we say in Sanskrit asanam, we immediately understand that, oh, it is sitting. Okay. So then the name, the word, tells us what the being does. It's not the case with English. Yeah? It's already so much deviating from that original sound system that we cannot even recognize. We do not know why pistol is shooting. Yeah? In Sanskrit, it will be a shooting thing. Yeah? It will tell you what it does or what it is. So you will recognize what it does. And the same with all the gods. You will see Vishnu is a V. we, it's two in one, Vishnu. Huh? The one who holds two in one, that's the Vishnu. Like Indra, Idandra, as the Aitareya would say, splitting it. So Indra is always splitting this into two or piercing it with his lightning. So it tells you what it does. Deva is from root Div, shining one. The God is shining one. That's what it does. It shines. So everyone does something, and this is the name. So this beautiful name, Ribhu, was created, and the Ribhu is that which is gaining, obtaining, growing, evolving power. Power which has other levels, higher levels to evolve to, and to hold the delight on that level, the delight of the spirit. So kind of unfolding you this idea of the name. Why? For Rishi, for the Rishi, it's so important, this idea, more than we can imagine. For us, it's very flat. We don't even understand why he says this. What is this beautiful name to be sought with adoration? To be sought with adoration. You have to aspire to find that name, to find that functionality with love. Because for the Rishi, the language is knowledge. That name is the functionality which reveals the meaning of what is happening. And then once you are deep into it, if you understand the meaning of the word, of the name, you experience it. You have an experience. It's not just blah, blah, blah as we think, because we are living in the mental structure and we do all the time blah, blah, blah. And we are so used to it that we don't even believe that you can speak and knowledge can come. You can't imagine how, but it is so. It is so. We kind of disregard the word. We moved with different value system we created a false value system of humbleness, humility, non-egoistic presentation, fitting with others, people lover, people pleaser. We created totally different value system, which is muddling up, which is not allowing us to break through and to come to the truth of our being. We are always hesitating with this daring proposition to break through. I can see it clearly. Yes? You don't want to break relations with people because they don't understand this. They just find this value system more truer for themselves. And they believe that if you dare to look for something true, you are egoistically promoting yourself. That's how they see it. Yeah? They don't see that you want to find the real thing in yourself. Even Jesus was considered to be very egoistic, because he was kind of saying something extraordinary. How dare you to say extraordinary for us? You have no right. Everything is already captured, possessed. We already know our value systems. As the priest of the temple, big temple in Jerusalem, asked him, why did you come? This is amazing. They say you are Messiah. They said, yes, I am. Why did you come? The next question. Why are you disturbing our settlement, our establishment? Yeah? And the answer was amazing. To face the truth to the end. To dare the truth to the end. And it ended up in the crucifixion. This is what the establishment pays for the daring to find the truth or to express it. This is exactly why we are hesitating. We are wanting always to become part of this establishment more than to dare to find the truth of ourselves. Again, you say, oh, it's all connected with the name. Do we want to know the name? All right. Now I dared too much already. I go to the next one. It's also daring what I do. I just go off the track because I want to see fresh look. I have to have a fresh look at things which are kind of settled, and they don't give much anymore. They are just there, which we already understand and know. And I want to see what we don't know, but we don't understand. Yeah. So looking for something which we don't know.
Vladimir, can I say something here?
Yes.
In Savitri, in the canto, the ideal, something, the world of the ideal, the mother is asked to repent because she has dared to enter the inconscient and broken its sleep. You know, the sleep of the ignorant, the sleep of the abyss has been interfered, has been shattered because the light has entered into it. So she is made to atone for that interference. And what you just said about Jesus coming into the temple and being questioned by the priest, why have you come? And he said what he said, that, you know, to see the truth to the end.
To face,
To
interesting.
face the truth. It is, it brings to mind the similarity between the two situations. Whenever we dare in the darkness, we are met with all kinds of reactions. And maybe that's why people have fear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fear of entering the unknown.
Absolutely. And it is really very, very, scary, because you will be crucified, right? Yeah, because that darkness is powerful, very powerful. And the whole surrounding is built on the acknowledgement of its relations with it. So, and you are kind of bringing it out of equilibrium, you are disturbing the equilibrium, so all the forces will come onto you one way or another, inwardly or outwardly, mainly outwardly. Yes, inwardly you will be supported by light, light will grow, but outwardly you will have a resistance. So it's for that reason it's so important to build a community of those who really understand these issues and are not so much judgmental about the outer things, but looking for the real thing. And understanding that we all make mistakes, that we all are mixture with ignorance, and without harsh judgment of it, rather looking for some light. Because judging is easy, yeah? Everybody is wrong. Yeah. As we spoke last night,
Yeah.
everybody is wrong. We are all approximate, yes, but still we are looking for the truth, or not, or we are looking for some convenience which will, satisfy all of us. It depends what we are looking for. So many people look for convenience and they think that is the truth. It is not that. Truth is very inconvenient. But it is blissful. It brings another dimension of bliss and joy and light. And you kind of get out for a moment from that prison of convenience. Yeah. All right. Let's look into the number 7. Ayonim Agnich Gretavantam Asthat Prithupraganam Ushantam Ushanach Didiyanach Shuchi Hrishvach Pavakach Punach Punar Matara Navyasikach. Desiring it as it desired him, the fire entered into the luminous native abode, wide in its approach, shining forth, pure, purifying, sublime. Again and again he makes new the father and the mother. He renews the father and the mother. Interesting, this punach navyasikach. So he makes them new again and again. We spoke the other day, yesterday, about this constantly reborn, the world. It's constantly new. The mind and the physical are constantly renewed by the flame. It is this flame divine, will divine, which endures in time its own being. And that is recreation, constant recreation of our existence. Agni approached the abode full of clarity, Garitavantam, Yonim, that has a vast entry, Prithupraganam, desiring him who desires, Ushantam Ushana, shining and pure, moving and purifying. He created his parents or his mothers again and again. Here the word is used matara, two mothers, but it can be also understood as mother and father. It's a very interesting dual case in Sanskrit language, especially in the Vedic language. It can be used only one, like Pitarao. Yeah? Pitarao are two fathers, or Pitris, or the parents. Parents is also from fathers. We don't say father and mother. We say parents, or here two mothers. And two mothers could be mother and father. Or it can be two mothers, not necessarily father and mother. Really two mothers, because Agni has two mothers. One is dawn and the other is night. Night and dawn are his two mothers, who are feeding him, who are making him grow here. Yes? The light and the darkness. They are the feeding, nurturing flame mothers. So he renews them constantly. How can he renew his parents, his two mothers? What do you think? This is an intuition here, yes, which we have to get from this verse. Once we get it, we will have some message of it.
What is your question, Vladimir?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, he renews them. How does he renew his parents? Flame. They are his mothers, and he makes them new again and again. How is that even possible? What Rishi, what does he want to say?
Is it the same as saying twice born? When you don't come from the mind and every moment
He
when you're
gives
being
another significance, you mean? Twice born, because twice born is that when you're born once, when you are, whatever you are, and then you get another significance. You are initiated into the path. You have another role to play, another meaning to gain. And so this is your second birth, initiation into the path. So It's a very good idea. He gives them another significance again and again. Flame, evolutionary flame here, who evolves and grows, changes the meaning of his parents all the time. They are growing with him. They're getting
This
new.
evolution, and this evolution is in consciousness, right? As he
Flame,
grows his
yeah,
consciousness.
right.
So there's nothing from memory, no, Vladimir, actually. So nothing which is past, which has become knowledge, or which is um yeah, which is coming from memory. It's it's coming every moment. And then whatever gives rise to that becomes a renewed Darren.
Right,
Or
memory is there. And that's why we can say he makes them new. That means there is something old. And old is the memory, and the new is a new experience. And it becomes new memory, and new memory, and new memory, and new significance. So memory is something which is settled, which is already realized, yes? It is like memory, Mori is something with death. It's already dead. More. It's already something which is formed, put into the form, formated, formulated, yeah? Kind of. But a new one, a new memory, a new experience is constantly gained by him flaming. Yeah? And the parents, his parents, day and night, they are also gaining new significance.
because moving, something dead cannot move.
Right. Well, it is already, yes, it becomes a step on the way to move forward. Yeah? It is a support rather than the thing. Because if we look at the world dynamically, we need the support. We need something to be realized, to be stiff, to be solid, on the ground of which we make a change. Change itself is impossible if nothing is solid there to change. Then it will be only fluid, some without real change and without fixation of change, without even possibility of thinking about it. So that's what matter plays. The matter plays this role of fixing changes. But yeah, it's an important tamasic role of tamas guna, yeah? Because otherwise we would never gain the being changed, yeah? If the tamas would not be there, so we would be always fluctuating. There is more here which we do not see. He enters into this full of clarity yoni, approaches it, which has a vast entry, desiring him who desires. Now this is about desire. Desiring him who desires. Everyone is desiring here, in being desired. So the Veda doesn't look at the desire as something negative. It's more as a rajas guna, as a flame, as something to be gained, something wanted, something to be achieved, aspired for. It doesn't have that connotation yet of the blockage for our development. It comes later with mental structure where we are becoming very individualized and separate from others. But here it's more in the universal terms. And this is actually what Sri Aurobindo took from the Veda, and he uses desire in the same manner in Savitri. He has this vaster, universal connotation. a cry of adoration and desire. I can't forget this. Cry of adoration and desire is typically Vedic formulation. You know? It is full of intensity of the flame, which is very difficult. Nobody would dare to explain it, to express it that way in the modern language, unless you had that access to the Vedic imagery.
Like in Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Yoga is full of the desire for the divine. You know, they don't say aspiration. It's the desire, but it's a purified desire.
Yeah. Desire has this intensity, density, something. Because aspiration is more like, you know, it's more too pure. It needs a little more density. Desire has it.
Yeah.
Substance. It needs substance.
Like
But
form and without
yes,
form.
yes, Deepti. Didn't he?
No, I was just saying when you said substance, so something which needs form, and the other one aspiration is moving towards the formless.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Or desire is something which is already burning with substance. It's like a burning this ghee, you know. Whereas aspiration is more like a pure spiritual flame with no food in it, yeah, something, no substance in it. It needs that ghee, ghritam.
The bhakta, with all his dualities and his force, is burning with desire for the Lord. You know, he's not thinking of purification. He's offering up all his unregenerate nature, you know, in a desire for the Lord. He knows nothing else. He's not waiting to purify himself. He just offers himself as he is in a
Right.
burning desire.
Right, absolutely, very nice. There was a beautiful story of, I think it is Tulsidas, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Tulsidas. When he was going to his wife, you remember, yes, over
Yes.
night, over this, he had so many dangers. He took snake for the rope, and he finally came in the night to his wife and embraced her and said, I went through so many ordeals to come to you. I'm full of desire and love for you. And she jokingly told him, if you would desire the divine in the same way, you would already realize it. And then it struck him so much, so deeply. Poor, poor lady. She was from that time on left alone. And all his desires were turned towards the divine.
Mm.
So, so think twice what you say to your husband. Yeah. So he realized the divine because that burning desire, he had an example. He had a real movement. If we would really want it, that's what Mother says. We have to want it first of all. If we don't want it, it's not enough to do yoga. We have to want the divine, to wish to realize the divine, really wish, not mental wish. It has to be more fundamental. It has to be physical, vital, mental, and beyond. It has to take all our being. And whatever the outcome, we have to burn in the agony of that desire. And we don't want it, yeah? We want a comfortable way of reaching the divine. We don't want to be in agony. But that agony is sweet. That is bhakti. That's the agony of Mirabai, if you remember. How she was looking for him everywhere. It's at the agony of all those gopis, looking for him and forgetting for a while, and then again crying and looking and calling in anguish. It is also the same anguish which Krishna had for Radha. For 3 days he was totally lost all his senses. He was totally burning with desire for Radha. So these desires are, of course, they are very productive. Yeah, within few days you can have a realization. There will be the answer to you. So we deal with something of that kind, very basic, very fundamental to our nature. But it is true, it cannot be generated by kind of, imitation or faking it. You cannot fake it. Yeah. That means most probably soul casts some, luminous shadow on the vital, and the vital got the bug of the soul. And now it cannot get out of it, so it is kind of caught by the soul. Otherwise, vital itself cannot produce it. Yeah? Vital is very different. So when a vital joins the soul aspiration and they become two in one, then this desire is generated. All right, and number 8. Sadhyo jata oshadhi bhih vavakshe yadi vardhanti prasuvah kritena apaiva pravata shumbhamana urushyad agnih pitaroh upasthe. Again, pitaroh upasthe. It was matri, matara before, now pitri too. Duo. Suddenly born, he is carried by the growths of the earth, when the mothers who bore him make him grow by the light. The fire in the lap of the father and the mother is as one who defends the waters, gliding happily down a slope, or gliding brightly. My interpretation, the moment he was born, he grew stronger by Oshadhih. Oshadhih are our greenery who embody Soma, yes? And it's interesting, Oshadhih, where Osha, the vas, the heat is established. So the greenery is with the fire within it, yes? By those embodying the fire within them, he grew, while in the moment he was born, he grew strong. When the mothers, we do not know who these mothers, who push the growth forward, increase him by the mental clarity. Prasuvach, it is from the word prasu, means to bring forward to birth, to extract forward, to push forward the birth. So by these mothers, or by these forces who push forward our movement, he grew strong with Garita, with luminous clarity, with mental clarity. As if the waters moving downward, gladdening all Agni, secures them in the lap of his parents, or his mothers, parents rather, mothers is less exact. Why these waters moving downward, gladdening all Shumbhamana? What are these waters? These waters are actually increasing the flame. This is the spiritual experience which is not clear to the mind who does not have it or never had it. because we think of water so pacifying the flame, yes, kind of extinguishing the flame. But these waters are not the waters. They are Shumbhamana waters. They are waters full of delight. Yeah? These are the streams of the Soma from heaven, heavenly streams supporting growth of flame. And he Urushyat, he secures them, or Urushyat could be translated as widening their scope in the lap of his parents. Who are these parents? It is heaven and earth. Yes? They are his parents of the flame. And the waters, transcendental waters, rivers, streams, currents of delight are being increased by him in the lap of heaven and earth. So heaven and earth as our embodied state are increasing the flow of the transcendental streams and secured by the flame growing with their support. This is the vision.
Yeah, you mentioned a while back about how fire grows from the water that we have in us. That's the next element, I believe, that was the way you put it.
Right. It bewilders our mind because water and fire are some kind of different, and yeah, they're opposite in our mind, in our mental structure. But in the tradition of this kind, it is very different. Fire is born in the ocean. Ocean is his home, and so on. And so they look at the waters differently as soma,
Yeah.
as honey, as ghee, as that gharitam, clarified butter, which increases the flame. Yeah?
Why is he suddenly born?
Sadyach, yeah. Suddenly, it is just literally at the moment, the moment he was born, yes? Or maybe suddenly born also, as Sribindu says, flaming suddenly. Yeah? He was not visible, flame was not visible, and then suddenly flamed out, broke through from the beyond to the surface. In any way, Rishi has something to create in us this image, which will help us to relate to our own self-finding and experience. Okay, we can stop here for today. Yeah. Okay, I will close with the mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Namaste.
Namaste.